has begun. Who has the edge going into Thursday night? Well, everybody will say that it's Shakur. Shakur is a two-division champion. Shakur has been seen as the next up, in a lot of circles. A lot of people compare him to Floyd Mayweather. People compare him to Terrence Crawford. People compare him to all the great boxers of the past. And he feels like he's on a list where he can topple all of them. But I don't think that he's quite there yet. But that's some wishful thinking. And you like your champions to have that type of confidence. You want a guy to have some real goals in this business other than just getting paid and riding around in nice whips and putting on jewelry and then going and fighting, B or C level fighters. You know what I mean? I think that Shakur is trying to fight the best. I think he is trying to go at the best. And I think that he does understand that there's a possibility he can lose the fight, but he's willing to take the fight. And that's what most boxers are willing to do. It's always the side people that are negotiating and figuring out ways to be the duck or be the person that avoids this guy and avoids that guy, but I'll fight this guy. So that's why you have management. That's why you have good people coming up with man, too funny. But Neff, you were too silly. Stop coming up with stupid ass ideas. Lots of laughs. Stop. Well, but all in all, though, man, by Sequiliques and stuff. But when it comes to Shakur and De Los Santos, this is one of the better fights of the year for the division. If you say anything, start of the year you had Tank and Garcia fight, not Ryan, but when he fought Hector Garcia, and that was a big lightweight fight right there. The super fight, which was at pretty much a catch weight. So, you had a catch weight situation with that. They came in there 138 for that. So, pretty much that one was not really a lightweight fight. That was a mega fight. But this is a title fight. You have Shakur, who's chasing that WBC belt. He did have his WBC belt stripped when he was at 130 because he couldn't make weight. And that wasn't any fault of his. It's just that you outgrow the weight. It happens. But, a lot of people will hold that against you and, say a whole bunch of stuff, but they just don't understand that when you're 130, 135, 126, that weight is hard to make as you're growing into your man strength and things like that people say. And when you're walking around and you're not a 5'3" midget, then pretty much you are gonna gain weight and you're gonna get bigger. Shakur is about 3-4 inches shorter than me, so you'll probably see me and think I'm 6 foot, but I'm only 5'10". So pretty much you got Shakur who's about 5'6", 5'7", and then when he's in the ring, he looks about 5'8", 5'9". So, at the end of the day, this guy is really, making a path for himself. If I was to give him any advice, I would say stop chasing, stop talking, just go about this business the way that you can. And you know what? Just seek and destroy. That's all you got to do. Whoever signs the contract, whoop their ass. That's what you do. And then eventually, when you start winning these belts and you start making the money and you're able to throw out the money, then you know what? People are going to sign those contracts a lot quicker. Ask Floyd Mayweather and ask Sugar Shane Mosley, ask Oscar De La Hoya. They had to really scrap, fight, and really become household names. Shakur is not a household name. He's known by a lot of sports fans and a lot of sports fanatics and things of that nature, but that doesn't ring big numbers outside of this, though. That's the whole thing. That's just the boxing world. The boxing world has become a minimal situation in the sports world in the grand scheme of things. When you look at the food chain, the NFL is Roof Chris. Boxing is Rally's Checkers. It don't know what it want to be week in and week out. Are we doing tag team? Are we doing females fighting men? What are we doing here? We got 55-year-old men fighting for 6 rounds of just exhibitions because they got some bills to pay. and they just touting the fact that they used to be champions 20 years ago or contenders that got knocked out by great champions. Boxing right now knows exactly what the problem is. And you have to be able to sell your stars. And they're not doing a good job of selling Shakur Stevenson. And that's on Top Rank at the end of the day. That's on Top Rank. They got the ESPN engine behind them, and they still can't make this guy the household name that he actually deserves to be. And then you see Edwin De Los Santos, a guy that they're not giving any chances to, because you know what? They see him as a guy who was already thrown to the wolves, and you know what he did to the wolves? He came out with the wolf's head on top of his crown, buddy. And you know what? This guy is dangerous. He went in there and they put him against one of the hardest punchers in the division. He absolutely annihilated him and made him look like amateur hour, to where Chris Colbert was able to go ahead and show truly that the guy is not that great of a fighter. So, great of a boxer. He's a good fighter, but not a great boxer. And that's the thing. Will De Los Santos be able to expose Shakur Stevenson? When you say who has the edge going in, it's without a doubt Shakur Stevenson. But who has the mental edge? You know what I mean? Who really does have the mental edge? We know that Shakur can talk himself into, you believing in anything he's going to do, because he's going to keep telling you he's the best. But Edwin De Los Santos is taking this very easy. He's being chill. He's just putting his work in. And I think that he wants to go off and show the world that he's not coming to just be an opponent for Shakur Stevenson. He's coming to try to win the WBC belt, because the belt is vacant. The belt does not belong to anybody. The winner takes the belt. And that's the whole thing. If you're doing big business, you want Shakur to win, because then you can start the hype for the Devin Haney fight, or possibly a super fight with Teofimo, since they're both on the same promotion. Or you get yourself ready for Tank. But right now, he's not on any of those guys' minds. What he has to do is he has to go seek and destroy and go ahead and collect those belts as fast as possible, as he can keep making weight at 135. And that's just really what it is at the end of the day. And if you guys do want to know what night they're fighting, it's sitting right there. They're going to be fighting Thursday night. They start the broadcast at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, so then they don't have to interfere with what's going on, because TNF, they got the big football game between the Ravens and the Bengals, and that does have playoff ramifications to it as well too. So people aren't just going to run to watching Shakur come on at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So they're putting him on at the right time. He's probably going to not walk to the ring till about 8:15, 8:30 at the most, because they're going to have the co-main event before the main event. So you probably won't get Shakur in the ring until 8:30, no later than 8:45. So I don't think any of us are going to wind up missing that fight. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. And when I get back, we will jump into the NBA. We got State of the Lakers, and we got NBA Tuesday night. And you know what? It's tournament night. So let's go ahead and break it on down. But you guys stay cool. Stay right there, and I'll be right back to you. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop Dibiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in